All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. Let's see how long the stupidity can hold off with my computer. So, anyway, let's get the game started with the 5x5 for 10 fucking minutes. See where that goes. Maria, Bushpick, Flowngrown, Dobie, WTC, thank you for 5x5. Angelwood, Masul, Groundhog, Donovan, Patrice, thank you for 5x5. Joe F, Rick, what's going on? Adriana, what's going on? Adriana and somebody earlier just said Rumble is having problems. Of course they are. Jeep Girl, George, Jenkins, Johnny D, thank you for the 5x5. Rumble and places like Rumble, or how do you say? Not social media, but I guess social media outlets like Rumble are going to have a lot of problems moving forward. I'm going to get into that in a little bit. No debate on it. Jeep Girl, George, Johnny D, I think I said that already. Green, Nugent, Winston, Mamacita, thank you for the 5x5. And everything's loud and clear. All right, good. I know a lot of people are probably watching the debate, so this was probably a bad time to... James, thank you for 5x5. This was probably a bad time to run a live stream, but whatever. I think some people are not going to deal with the nonsense of the debate. It's just stupidity. It's just it's a cock rub. It's what it is. It's to make certain people feel better. Biden is going to do terrible unless they got him hiked up on those drugs, and he might be sharp for like 5 minutes. Gunslinger said, you're 5x5, but YouTube is, sorry, Rumble is schwacked. That's crazy. I almost want to... Rumble stopped. Yeah, this is perfect. So, Angelwood, that's what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking the debate is bullshit. Like anything else. It's fucking, forgots. So, anyway, it's stopped. What stopped? Nothing worth watching. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's much anything worth watching. So, the issues that I was talking about today was the issue I was talking about today, or going to talk about today, is the whole North Korea-Russia agreement and how it seemingly got worse. Depends on where you stand and how you look at it. We're definitely going to discuss that in a little bit. But like I was talking about with Rumble and what's the other one, BitChute and places like that, or media sources like that, if you will, they're going to start clamping down on misinformation. So they're going to go to war with this tactic by taking out places like Rumble, because Rumble and BitChute, they don't bend the knee or don't want to bend the knee to all the other companies like Google and YouTube who are telling them, yo, you guys have to do X, Y, and Z. They don't want to do that. So interestingly enough, they announced that they want to go a little harder on misinformation for the election. So a lot of videos are probably going to wind up getting schwacked, as somebody put it earlier. And a lot of channels are probably going to be deleted because they're going to do something horrendous for this election. I could almost bet my entire pension that they're going to do something so bad and so out in the open and so in your face that if we don't do anything about it, we're simple bitches, pretty much. Somebody said stream cut off. What stream cut off? Are we talking about now somebody's mentioning Telegram? Huh. Somebody said Joe Biden looks like he's dying. No shit. Well, not surprised. But if they have him on experimental dementia drugs and they have him pumped up, this is wearing out his entire neurological system, muscles, brain, and that's why he looks like shit. If in fact he does, I think the drugs they have him on is experimental, and I think that's why he looks emaciated every time we see him. And just like that movie with Robert De Niro and Robin Williams, Awakening, they gave him that drug, and the more they gave him the drug, they had to give him more to keep them awake, and then eventually the drugs didn't work. This is something along the same lines. Again, this is my theory. It's conspiracy theory. As far as Rumble and BitChute and them, they're going to start taking those channels down, and YouTube is going to be the only information source. People like Epic Times and channels like that, they're definitely going to start being messed with, hacked into all of a sudden. But again, we shall see. Everybody's saying Rumble is down. How bad is it? He's talking a mile an hour. People are like, he's a damn robot. So I appreciate people are watching both and keeping me up to date, because not that I have no interest. I think I'm so far removed from this nonsense. Like, I am... Oh, the service is currently unavailable. Something went wrong. And this is according to the iPhone. Something went wrong. No shit, something went wrong. Something went horribly wrong. That's called somebody messing with your shit. But whatever. This is it's offline, bro. All right, Donovan. Thank you. The stream cut out too. What stream cut out? What stream do you guys keep talking about? I'm watching you and the debate. Roger that. You knew AI would be here. You knew AI would be here. Listen, I told you guys this before. I'll tell you again. I don't think I'm going to be on much longer. I think that if YouTube starts cleaning house, people like myself, Pinball, people who are, talking about the everyday bullshit that's going on, we're going to see ourselves deleted. And if it happens, then it happens. I'll come back, or maybe I won't. I don't know. Maybe I will, and then I'll focus on prepping, more prep. Like, I'm trying to get back to the whole prepping shit, but it's so hard. There's so much going on. It's hard to do. So I think I'm resigning myself to one prepping video a week, and I'll release it Saturday. So at least I get something out there, and I continue with this being an actual prepper channel instead of a daily up to a news, pretty much. Though a lot of the stuff we talk about will definitely need prepping, without a doubt. Sorry. But again, that's another subject. So, with this North Korea sending forces to occupy territories in Ukraine, I read an article earlier, in a small part of the article, like a paragraph, stating that, no, North Korea didn't say that. These fact checkers will, you could sit there and go, man, that sunset is beautiful. There's a fact checker going, no, it's not. That's because the refraction of the sun on the curvature of the earth is why it looks like some fucking nerd shit. And fact checkers will always argue whatever we see with our own two eyes. Biden's not doing well. He's sick. Well, in fact, when you run presidency, you do get a little run under the weather because, like, all of the bullshit that they run, they're definitely, there's always a fact checker there disputing whatever you say. It's really horrendous, and it's really bad the way these fact checkers are fact checking shit, and it's not even close to true. Everything they say, they'll say the opposite of whatever they don't like. That cheeseburger was delicious. No, it wasn't. It was bad because it had too much sodium in it. Like, that kind of shit. Yeah, like an asshole, I'm drinking coffee at fucking 9 o'clock at night. It's not going to vote well for me later tonight. I'm going to be running circles. I'm going to go for a walk at midnight and possibly get raped and eaten by rats. There are so many rats out there. Yo, last night we were walking out of a building. This is in the fire department. Walking out of a building, and one of the guys kicked a garbage can. With that, the entire rat nation of America came running out of the garbage can. I've never seen anything that bad. I was like, yo, there was, as one guy put it, an orgy of rats in the garbage can. I've never seen that. I mean, they just kept flowing out. It was like I was waiting for Willard and or Ben to fucking come out of that garbage can. And Willard being a human, it was fucking... Man, if I had a shotgun, it would have been fucking Shotgun City. I would have tried... it was a lot. Somebody was like, it was only 10. My ass, it was 10. I got fucking 10 fingers and I can count well past that. There was a lot of rats, man. A lot. I was like, they was just streaming out like a river of rats coming out of the garbage can, going right into the sewer. The sewer had to be 25 feet away. So we're standing there looking at this like, this is incredible. It was bad. Never seen anything like it. It's the craziest shit in the world to see. That was just, I mean, and there's a spot over here, by the way, where when I go for my walks up a hill, it's rat central over there. And the amount of rats, guys, that are out and about, this city is just doomed. And though Mayor Adams wanted to start a rat patrol, I don't know if that's him or an actual group of people patrolling for rats and killing them, but the rat population is out of control. Out of control. I mean, if you are up for eating rats during the apocalypse, you will not have a shortage of that. I promise you that. But yeah, no, fuck that. If I was a gay man, I would have screamed like a bitch. That's how many rats were there. I was like, it was just a river of rats. It was like some apocalyptic shit, but they were all coming out of a garbage can. Anyway, yeah, Terminex is like not even gonna come close to that. Not even. We caught a bunch of rats inside the firehouse. A lot of firehouses have a lot of rat problems, and the city doesn't give a shit. The city doesn't give a shit when it comes to rat problems. If you go to any housing complex in the city, they have rat problems. The city doesn't do anything about it. But if you are in Billionaire Row, they protect your shit. I mean, there are rats there too, but not nearly as bad as what you see in the projects or anywhere else for that matter. Eugene said Rumble is down. Yes, we know that. And not breaking your balls, but like a million other people said it before, and I looked online and I'm like, holy shit, it's down. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna stop in place and just die? No, we'll move past it. It's fucking it's Rumble. It'll be okay. It'll be alright. Anyway, let me get to this fucking article. So anyway, Ukraine situation report. God, I hate the Ukraine. And not that I hate the Ukraine. I have nothing against the people or the land itself. Not at all. I really don't like that dude. Zelensky, whatever his name is. Jack off, jerk off, dickhead, dick face, you choose. I just don't like him. Every time I see his face, he has a very punchable, kickable head. If anybody on this planet had a more kickable and punchable head, it's Zelensky. Anyway, North Korea may send forces to occupied territories in Ukraine. Even sending hordes of laborers, let alone troops, to Ukraine would mark a new phase in North Korea's mutual aid relationship with Russia. As part of its recently signed mutual aid pact with Russia, North Korea is planning to send forces into Ukraine as early as next month. It's probably July they're talking about. Agreement calls for, I can never pronounce the capital of North Korea, Pyongyang, whatever, to knock it.
Hello, I hope you have a great day.
Fucking TV said. It was supposedly off, and then this bitch came on and just talked to me. Anyway. I might have to unplug my TV. Alright, no. It's off now. Anyway. Not going to get into it. I don't want to get into that right now. The TV's talking to me, and I'm like, fucking, what's going on? So, where were we? Okay, so the agreement calls for Pyongyang to send construction engineering forces to Russia-occupied territories of Ukraine for rebuilding work. The outlet cited a South Korean government official quoted by the South Korean TV Kusun cable network. There was no indication of how many personnel would be involved or the exact nature of their work. Devil TV. Anybody ever remember that movie Electric Dreams? Please tell me I'm not the only one that saw that movie. Because if it is, that means I'm a nerd and gay. But that was a pretty good movie back in the 80s. But that's what my TV just reminded me of. My TV says anything other than, hey, how you doing? Yo, it's getting a baseball bat to the screen. If that shit said anything like, yo, can we be friends? This motherfucker's taking a flyer right out of the window. No, we can't be. Right? It's the last thing it hears. Fucker. Anyway, sorry. Somebody said yes, saw it. Okay, so a couple of people saw it as well. Electric Dreams. I don't want to be the only person to ever admit to seeing that movie. I think again, I'm definitely gonna start the movie channel, and I'm definitely probably by the end of July or beginning of August, I'm gonna start the movie channel. I'll probably create it tonight, but I haven't picked a name yet. But I'm definitely want to start it because there's so many movies we could talk about, like Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. My God, that was a bad movie. Yeah, Angelwood just said it. That was fucking horrible, dude. That one scene where the guy, he's like, "You lost your edge, Turbo," and then he threw and Turbo grabbed the spray can out of his hand and throws it, and they start breakdancing. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, it was that bad? So that means, guys, when I watched this and I liked it as a kid, I was fucking retarded. That's what it means. That means I had two brain cells rubbing together for me to like that movie. That was a bad movie. I watched it the other day. I was in shock and awe throughout the entire movie. I was like, I'm that stupid? I was that stupid as a child? Holy shit, man. That's a bad movie. Yo, I mean, like, I'm watching a movie as a kid, I'm breakdancing and shit like they are, and I'm like, this is good. Now I'm older, I'm like, the fuck was I thinking? Fuck. Such a bad movie. It's really bad. The fucking, you lost your edge, Turbo. Meanwhile, they're wearing the gayest apparel they could possibly wear in Los Angeles as dancing gangs to breakdance with each. Oh my God. That was fucking horrible, man. And I sat there in the movie like, yeah, this is good. Holy shit. My father must have looked at us and been like, my kids are retarded. Because he took us to see it. So, yo, holy shit, man. Sounds like movie time. No. I apologize. I'm sorry. It does not sound like movie time. I'm sorry to go on that tangent. But, yo, that was fucking bad, man. Holy shit. You lost your edge, Turbo. Everybody in that scene lost their edge. There was no edge to be had in that movie. Holy shit. That was fucking crazy. Alright, so I'm sorry guys. I'll start the channel. I'll see how well it does. That's probably going to be more live streams and talking about a lot of movies live. We'll focus on one movie and either make fun of it or talk about it. Like I do want to talk about and break down Saving Private Ryan. Like that was a very good war movie. And war movies like that, right? So we'll have like War Movie Wednesdays and we'll talk about different war movies. Even if you guys suggest something, I'll watch it begrudgingly. And then we'll talk about it. We'll talk about Chuds, Towering Inferno, all of the fucking movies that we thought were cool when we were kids that are not cool anymore. And then there's some movies that are still cool, that are not that bad. But anyway, we'll get back to that by again, I'm going to start the channel probably in the next couple of days, and then I'll start working on material for over the next month. I have 4 dark side. Rumble is. Someone said Rumble is back up. Roger that. Rumble's back up and running. All right, let me finish this article and not get sidetracked again. I apologize. Sorry. All right, regardless of what they do or where they go, those forces would be cannon fodder, according to the Pentagon. Now, of course, the Pentagon is trying to... What's that word? notify, that's not the word I'm looking for, but notify North Korea that their men are expendable at the Russians' expense, right? So the Russians are just like, yo, we got a million fucking little chinky dudes to fucking throw at this war. Let's start having them killed, bring back our Russian soldiers to regroup, re-energize, be fed, retrain, and then send them back out there. Gonna have a little chinky dudes running around fucking getting blown up by fucking drones and shit. Oh, I definitely will, Jason. Definitely will. But, yeah, so the Pentagon is trying to, like, create a wedge by saying that, and North Korea is not that stupid. The North Korean president, I hate to say it, but he's smart. He's not a stupid man. He seems childish and stupid because that's the image America made for him, but he's not a stupid man, and he's probably childish, but he's not stupid. He knows what he's doing. Anyway, Air Force Major General Pat Ryder was responding to a question about the Russian-North Korea agreement. Ryder said North Korea should think twice about fighting in the Ukraine. If this is where it gets bad. This is where it gets inherently bad. If North Korea brings troops in the Ukraine, the United States is going to be forced, their hand will be forced to bring in American troops. Now, obviously, NATO is going to be talking about this, and I know how you guys feel about NATO. It's irrelevant how you feel about NATO. NATO is undoubtedly going to start talking about sending in troops. NATO was also drawing up a map and bringing more troops into this war. North Korea steps in, it's fucking on. Everybody's going to start dropping their troops all over Ukraine to protect Ukraine. I wish they would just wipe Ukraine off the map, but then again, and that's, you know, that's not up to me. I really have a bad headache today, so I'm trying to deal with this. I haven't had a headache since this morning. It has not gone away. Beastmaster. It's another movie we're going to talk about. Beastmaster. I watched that movie the other day. It's another one I was like, man, I must have been stupid or high. Or stupid and high. And I was like 6 when I saw the movie, so figured that out. I might have ate too much glue. I don't know what the fuck going on, the paint chips. But I thought that movie was cool. That movie was fucking straight up garbage. Yet I watched it the other day, and I was just reminiscing, watching it. It's like, oh, where are these actors now? You know, that's what I do with 80s movies now. I look up where these actors are. Sorry. I will hold that off again for the other channel. Yeah, that'll be my 4th or 5th channel. So apparently, Trump just said to Biden, I don't know what he just said, and I don't think he knows what he just said either. In a debate. Whoa. Beastmas. But, Janessa, I don't like Beastmas. We're all of that age, guys. We watch corny 80s flicks, and we're going to have to admit to it. To our kids. You know, I saw Soul Plane. That was a horrible movie. Sorry. Anyway, this is from Major General Pat Ryder. Air Force Major General Pat Ryder. That's certainly something to keep an eye on. He told reporters on Tuesday about the potential for North Korea troops to be setting foot in Ukraine. I think that if I were North Korean military personnel management, I would be questioning the choice on sending my forces to be cannon fodder in an illegal war against Ukraine. And we've seen this kind of casualties that we've seen the kind of casualties, that Russian forces. But again, something that we'll keep an eye on. Now, this is where becomes a bit of a propaganda speech from Major Ryder. I hate to say this, but when he sat there and said, I don't know, if I was North Korean military personnel management, I would question that decision. Is he fucking kidding me? Seriously? Everybody knows how North Korea is run, and that's run solely through one man. Yes, he has a lot of fucking people running around tap dancing and shit, but ultimately, Kim Jong, whatever the fuck his name is, fat guy, runs the show. So nobody is questioning anything he says or anything his higher up says. Whatever anybody says in that higher echelon, they're going to do. They're not going to turn around and go, you think that we're cannon fodder? No one's going to do that. They're not going to say that. I think Excalibur was 80, if I'm not mistaken. My father loved that movie. Not sure why, but he loved that movie. North Korean troops fighting in Ukraine would be cannon fodder, again, the Pentagon says. I think that there were, yeah, he's repeating himself in the article. So anyway, that's, to me, that's a little bit propagandish. Because, like, yo, seriously, dude? You think anybody's questioning anything in North Korea? Did you see how everybody looked when Putin showed up? They looked like they were comatose, waving flags. Like, and not even, they weren't even making faces. They were just like drones. Like, somebody's off camera. Wave harder. Wave harder. Put your heart into it. And people are like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? How did anybody think that this was good? I know Putin, again, don't like the dude, think he's a bag of shit, but he is smart. But even he got there to North Korea and he was like, are we really going to do this? Are we really going to let these drones, you know? Like, I don't think Putin believed for a second these people were waving a flag for him. Like, not at all. Ooh, Hollywood Shuffle. Nice. The people are all dead. It's, I see dead people. I'm going to get you, sucker. All right, listen, guys. A lot of movies to cover. A lot. Highlander, awesome movie. The remake, I'm not convinced yet. I forgot who they picked, and I'm like, I could see that, but again, going off tear. Let's see. Putin threatens to arm North Korea if the West continues to supply weapons to Ukraine. All right. Putin looks for a reason to do anything, right? He doesn't, and the crazy shit is he doesn't need a reason to do whatever he does, but he'll always look for a reason. And then he'll say it like, Vladimir Putin has threatened to arm North Korea if Western countries continue providing military aid to Ukraine. What the fuck does that have to do with the price of tea in China? As the Russian president's new defense pact with Pyongyang, somebody help me out with that fucking capital of North Korea, sparked a series of diplomatic reverberation in the region. Everybody's scared. That's what that means. Japan's scared. Thailand's scared. All of the Southeast Asian countries are scared. They're like, why the hell did they make this pact? It came out of nowhere. Everybody's scared. Anyway, Putin's remark at the end of the state visit to Vietnam, capped off a week in Moscow, sought to rattle the West and project strength from a part of the world in which his influence still carries weight. Those who supply these weapons believe that they are not at war with us. I said, including the capital of North Korea, that we then reserve the right to supply weapons to other regions of the world. This is Putin telling a reporter on Thursday at the end of his trip to Hanoi, in response to a question on whether the supply of Western long-range weapons could be considered an act of aggression and or war. Yeah, not looking good. Though, I did hear a lot of murmur earlier this week about the stock market tanking, and that we all need to keep an eye on the stock market because if it tanks, it could be the beginning of the end and all that other bullshit, and nothing happened. In fact, the stock market went up a couple points today. But it did dive Monday morning, I think, or Monday or Tuesday, it dived 300 points. But no one mentioned Pyongyang. Is that how you say it? Critterfer? Critterfer? Pyongyang. That makes sense. Pootie Tang. That's another fucking horrible movie. But every time I watch it, I get stuck watching it. Pyongyang. Is that how you say it? Pyongyang? Alright. Thank you. Pyongyang. But somebody said Pootie Tang. Nice. That was a fucking really bad movie. Every time I watch the movie, I'm like, what was Chris Rock thinking? How did he think this movie was going to be funny? It was the worst movie ever made. Worst comedy ever made, rather. Sorry. Again, for another day. Where they will go next, question, he said, suggesting those countries should then sell the weapons to Western adversaries. The U.S. called Putin's remark incredibly concerning in a briefing on Friday. This is last week. It would destabilize Korean Peninsula, State Department spokesman Matt Miller told reporters, and, depending on the type of weapons they provide, might violate UN Security Council resolution that Russia itself has supported. Russia's not giving a shit if they're doing this. That's without a doubt. If they are doing this, they are not supporting Russia. Period. They're not supporting the contract, the policies. They're looking to break shit. They don't care. Pyongyang. All right. PP Yang. Anyway. Russia and North Korea signing a mutual defense pact this week sent ripples across the region, with South Korea summoning Moscow's envoy on Friday and Japan and the United States voicing serious concerns. They're probably crying into the phone like bitches. This shit's real. It's going to get scary. What do we do? The defense pact, which comes against the backdrop of Putin's grinding war against Ukraine, is the most significant agreement signed by Russia and North Korea in decades, and is seen as something of a revival of their 1961 Cold War era mutual defense pledge. Very interesting. I know nothing about these pacts that were signed back then. South Korea, a U.S. ally, condemned the treaty and summoned Russia's ambassador on Friday, a rare diplomatic step that illustrates the soured tension between Seoul and Moscow. The fucking South Korea's like, you better get on the phone, you little fucking vodka drinking motherfucker. We got shit to talk about. And that probably went nowhere. The guy probably avoided the phone calls or whatever it was. Anyway, first Vice Minister Kim Hong-kyung, relayed the South Korean government's stern position on Kim and Putin's defense pact, urging Moscow to immediately halt military cooperation with Pyongyang. Think I got it. And abide by UN Security Council resolutions. The foreign ministry said, Kim told Russian ambassadors that any cooperation that could be directly or indirectly help and reinforce the North Koreans' military power is a violation of the UN Security Council resolution, adding that Russia, a permanent member of the UN Security Council, should act responsibly according to the ministry. Officials of the U.S. military, which maintain almost 30,000 troops in South Korea, are undoubtedly going to increase the presence of troops in South Korea. Undoubtedly. They're 30,000 now. By the end of the year, we probably see 50 to 60,000 troops. They're going to start pouring troops into South Korea. Russia's going to see this and look at this as an act of aggression. North Korea is going to put more troops in Ukraine, and Russia is going to respond by getting more of their troops into Ukraine. UK, United States, and every other adversary of Ukraine is going to be forced to put their troops in, and then all hell's going to break loose. New threat. Putin flew to Vietnam on Thursday, where he renewed threats towards both West power and their partners in Asia. Speaking to Russian journalists at the end of the visit, he accused NATO of creating a threat for Russia in Asia. Now, I don't think NATO is creating any threat. This is Putin and his delusion. NATO is scared of Putin. That's why I don't understand when every time people are like, well, NATO's scared of Putin. They're scared of where this is going to go. A lot of NATO representatives have stated that they're scared of Putin, that they're concerned. And concerned is a new way of saying you're scared. So why would NATO continuously stoke the bear? Or poke the bear, rather, sorry. It's stoke the fire, poke the bear. Sorry. Not sure. There could be a reason. I could be missing something. I don't know. But nonetheless, Russia's always looking at everything as a threat. You know what Russia is? Russia is like that black man that's outside, and every time something happens, he claims racism. He doesn't like it. Racism. That white guy looked at me the wrong way. Racism. Putin's the same way. Oh, they did some shit. Aggression. Oh my God. They're creating a threat. He's like a modern day Karen liberal. Every move and every action is against him and his people. He's like the biggest twat I've ever seen. He's always crying about some shit. I mean, like, and he's like, oh, you guys don't behave yourself, I'm going to launch a nuke. Eugene, Prince of Darkness, very good movie. Watch it by yourself. I guarantee you that's race. I never seen a president do that. He's like, oh, they started this, they built something next to my border. I'm threatened. You know, like the fucking black kids in college, they were like, oh, those white people in the library, they make me feel threatened. I don't think they should be here. He's doing the same thing. He's doing the same shit. There's a pattern, man. Somebody's psychosis is dipping. It's the world psychosis. I think we're all going crazy. Just based on the shit we're seeing, the shit that's going on. Yo, it's insane. Insane. We're seeing some fucked up shit. I mean, migrants coming over here and shooting at cops and then telling the cops that's what we do in Venezuela? What? Yo, we're banging, we bang kids in Venezuela. We can do it here too. How many girls have been violated and killed? Manolo, Putin is, I mean, listen, at some point he's got to shit or get off the pot. But you can't keep threatening people if you're not going to do anything about it. Gorbachev did that for a very, very long time as well. Gorbachev threatened nuclear war and would annihilate the United States off the face of the planet. And it didn't happen. Didn't happen. We're here. Right? So there's a lot of talk. Everybody knows where this is going to lead to. And nuclear war is nuclear annihilation. Nobody wins. Everybody understands that. I can't wait till they put Skynet online. Then we can have a common foe, robots, with freshly grown skin that heals itself. For those of you that missed the Wednesday midweek report, I read an article that talked about how they're growing skin in a lab to put on robots. We saw this movie. It was called Terminator. No. And now they're growing skin in a lab for this shit. Anyway. As we see it happening in East Asia. Okay, and we see what's happening in Asia, right? The block system is being cobbled together in Asia. NATO is already moving there as a permanent place of residence. This, of course, creates a threat for all countries in the region, including the Russian Federation. We are obligated to respond to this and will do so, Putin says. Putin warned South Korea on Thursday it would be making a very big mistake. Yet again, he said that, I'm going out on a limb, I'm going to say anywhere between 8 to 12 times in the last year and a half. Very big mistake. Telling this country, the United States, you're making a very big mistake. UK, very big mistake. We're all making a very big mistake. Dude, shit or get off the pot. Anyway, if it decides to supply arms to Ukraine, claiming South Seoul has nothing to worry about concerning the new strategic partners signed by Russia and North Korea. As far as I know, the Republic of Korea does not plan aggression against the North Korea, which means there is no need to be afraid of our cooperation in this area. Now, of course, an ex-spy says U.S. should be concerned by Russia ships visiting Cuba. Now, this is linked into all of this happening. The Russian ships visit Cuba. They make a deal with North Korea. Russian ships, submarines, leave about 5 days ago, I think they left. This is all, guys, definitely aimed at attacking us at some point. I don't think they're going to go nuclear unless they lose. I think they're going to attack us by surrounding us first, lobbying whatever they have in their subs, and then some kind of land invasion. Because the moves they're making and the partnerships they're making around the world leads me to believe that they're going to make a move. Or they're going to annihilate us with nuclear weapons before we can even launch. Which I think that's impossible unless they hack into our system. But again, I don't know anything about that system because I'm a retard. So we shall see. But this partnership, North Korea moving troops into the Ukraine, not good. This is going to force a lot of people's hands, to do shit they don't want to do. Pure blood. Is Biden wearing that mask? That thing that looks like a mask? I saw that on a video and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Is that a mask or is that a flap of skin? I couldn't tell. Look up so you don't look at what's under the crust. I don't know what that means, Carly. I have no clue, nor am I interested. But let me finish reading this. Ex-spy warned that the U.S. should be concerned by Russian ships visiting Cuba, but the Kremlin has insisted that there's nothing to worry about. When a government official warns you that there's nothing to worry about, that's when you worry. United States government, no, there's nothing to worry about. Be scared. The Russian government tells you there's nothing to worry about. You need to be fucking packing up and leaving. Period. I'm not watching the debate. I have no interest. You guys are watching it for me. Manolos is directing me to a cult leader named Elder Alea. I'm pretty sure I said that right. Alia is a channel that shows you the truth. You know that there are a lot of YouTube channels that show you the truth? I just speak a lot of bullshit. And sometimes it sounds good. But I don't fucking really know. I come to conclusions, hypotheticals, but I don't know. You know, I think that we're definitely going to see some bullshit. That's without a doubt. I can bet my check on a lot of things, but I don't 100% know. I'm never going to be like, this is the truth, my niggas. You know, like, I'm never going to say that shit to you. I'm not going to be like, yo, I got a third eye. You know, I can see everything into the fucking 46 years from now. I can't do any of that. But all these YouTube channels are like, I know the truth. I'm from Canada. I know exactly what's going on in America. Shut the fuck up, you twat. You got another dude, yo, man, watch my porn video. I'm the fucking porn star prepper. But I'm going to tell you about the shit you should fear. All these spiritual channels, if you're in touch with your spiritual side, you'll definitely see God. No, that's because you're tripping on acid. You'll see God when it's time, and not before, and not some enlightenment fucking camp. You read the Bible, you feel the Spirit, you move forward when you die. Simple as that. All this other bullshit these people are peddling is fucking bullshit. If you give me $5, I can get in touch with the Lord. Right? They pass the tray around in the church. Those fake churches out there that look like... I mean, some of these churches are nice looking, but... Yo, pass the dollar bills around, yo, so we can put a big screen TV set so everybody can watch the sermon and the Super Bowl. They always throw that shit in there like, you fucking twat. Anyway, it's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit. Everybody's full of shit. Everybody's trying to act like they know what they're talking about. At times, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I look back on a video, I'm like, the fuck did I just say? Yeah, I do that. So I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass and be like, I'm the know-all, be-all, and listen to me. There's enough of that bullshit on YouTube. You know, yo, guys, let's wear white sneakers and lay under a sheet and drink some Kool-Aid with rat poison in it so we can go to the mothership. There's a lot of those YouTube channels out there. When you see God rollerblading, then we have problems. If you see God rollerblading, you're definitely tripping on acid. Like, without a doubt. Yeah, right? For $49.94 a month, you can go to heaven too. Yeah, I mean, like all the bullshit out there, you know? Hey, guys, before you die, if you buy this piece of equipment, it might help you survive. Yeah, okay. Fucking so many fakes out there. It's insane, man. Like, I understand. Entertainment value, if you are for entertainment purposes, absolutely. I like breaking balls and joking around. That's entertainment. I find that shit entertaining. I find this shit entertaining. I'm like, is all of this shit going to go down? I don't know. I really don't give a fuck. I don't care. It's why you don't see me talking about it a lot on YouTube. I'm focused on the shit that's going to affect us a lot sooner. I'm not worried about Russia. I'm not worried about Putin. I'm not worried about North Korea and Jim come fat, right? I'm not worried about any of that. I'm worried about the shit that's happening here in this city. I'm worried about the shit that's happening in this country. I'm worried about these motherfuckers coming across the border starting some shit. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about more realistic shit. I'm worried about whether or not Biden's going to turn into a lizard person on fucking TV. That would be awesome if he did. Because then a lot of us would have been right about the lizard people. Don't want to get into that. I've been on the whole lizard people shit since I was a kid. And it started with a TV show called V. Anyway, don't want to get into that just yet. The Riddick. Project Bluebeam. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the other thing. A lot of channels are like, again, there was supposed to be some financial crash this week and nothing happened. I'm just like, I'm so tired. And maybe I'm tired because I'm tired and old, but I'm just tired. It's like, every time I see it, like, I like to watch a lot of dumb shit on YouTube, and that's my brainless entertainment sometimes. Like when they ask a chick, would you rather be in a bear with a man, or would you rather be in a forest with a bear or a man? And these chicks are saying, bear. Now, a couple other chicks probably said men, and they cut those chicks out, but still. The Hawk 2 girl, she's an internet sensation for saying one basic shit. Shit that girls have been doing since the beginning of time. And she became famous for saying it out loud. Oh, God. I have a video on that because I can't believe that. I can't believe this girl is famous for that. But, we're toast. Forget about Ukraine. Forget about China. Forget about the World Economic Forum. Look within this country, and it's already falling apart on its own. Yes, a lot of it is by design. A lot of it is by the World Economic Forum. A lot of it is by the people in charge. China right now has little Chino kids learning how to build weapons and cook. They read books. They're learning about astrophysics. They're learning about top-tier shit. And our kids are learning about gender roles and where you fit in society. They have kids picking gender tags off of desks. What do you feel like today, Josh? And Josh looks at it, and Josh is a moron. He doesn't know any better. He's 5 years old. He eats crayons and licks the wall. Josh looks at the place tags on the table and goes, and the teacher's whispering in his ear, which gender are you? And whispering in his ear, pick that one right there, that one right there. And he picks up non-binary. And my pronouns are they, we, us. And that's the world we're living in. We're living in a country that is focused on bullshit that is not going to matter when the hammer drops. And when the hammer drops, China, Russia, and other Asian countries on their side will be ready. But not us. Our kids, our war-fighting kids, will be running around wearing dresses and matching handbags with fucking grenades in them. Because they want to fashion wear their uniform. They want to match what they're doing. And they're running out there saying, I'm a female. I can't fight in this war. This is where we are. And if you think I'm playing around about the Chinese and their bullshit, look them up. That's some incredible shit that I'm seeing. They're building an army of kids that, and we're sitting here playing around with bullshit. We're watching iCarly and TikTok videos. Windows lickers is what I call it. Yeah, I guess. I mean, the kid's a bit of, whatever. We're in a bad way. And the problem with this bad way, guys, is this is going to last a few years before people call it, stop it, and then start switching the tides. Now, there is a tide changing in schools. They're taking kids out of schools, a lot of parents, and they're homeschooling their kids. They don't want their kids to learn or be forced to pick a gender. They want their kids to go to school with a 5-year-old who's not wearing a dress. Because the sicko parent is like, oh, my kid decided to be transgender. No, a 5-year-old kid knows nothing about being gay and transgender. Nothing. There are people that argue with you and say, I knew I was gay when I was 5. No, you didn't. You're a sack of shit and you're a liar. When you were 5, maybe you were playing with Barbie dolls, but nonetheless, you weren't worried about sexuality. You were playing with toys. Every time I hear the stories of some gay guy or woman saying they knew they were gay when they were 5, they're a fucking liar. And all of their stories sound the same. Meanwhile, 5-year-olds in China right now are learning how to cook delectable meals. They have a session where they're actually cooking during their lunchtime, their lunch hour. They're learning how to cook. And our kids are learning how to wear dresses. There is a problem. Fake chosen one. Yeah, okay. Trump loses debate. Trump doesn't lose it. Listen, if Trump loses debate to Biden, then we shouldn't be picking either of them. Let's put it like that. But there's no way Trump's losing a debate to Biden right now. Listen, you could pick the stupidest person at your job and debate with Biden, and they'll win. But things are only going to get worse, guys. Only going to get worse. Like this fucking headache. I almost not want to do the Angry Truth tonight. I might opt out of it and push it to next week. You know what? I'll suck it up. I'll do it, and I'll keep it about 20 minutes, and I'll off the air. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. We are at a loss. We got the world coming down on us. The walls are closing in. People are unfriending us in real time. The country, I mean. We got partnerships being made that are absolutely going to be detrimental to us and other parts of the world. We are undoubtedly going to lose whatever happens. The people in this country who fight, they're going to hold the line. I think they're going to hold the line. And we're going to make it tough for those nations who come here and think they can take this land. We're going to make it incredibly hard. Well, we shall see what happens. Pablo, those weren't real felonies. Grow up. They weren't like he's 37 felonies. Those weren't real fucking felonies. If they were, he'd be in jail. He's not in jail. They were bullshit felonies. Every other lawyer on this planet stated that they would have never brought those charges against Trump because they were just stupid. So yeah, they're not real felonies. They weren't even real charges. They were just trying to rattle his campaign, and it didn't work. Well, there's a lot of people watching the debate, so I could tell by my viewership tonight that people are tired of my bullshit. But I could just tell. And again, it's a debate. People want to watch it. People are going to sit there and do videos on this now. They're going to take out excerpts and put it in their shorts, which they should do. And we're going to see, by 11 o'clock, I'm probably going to be able to watch the debate in different pieces. Because people are going to pull it apart, pick it apart, rather, sorry. Debate is a waste. Yeah, fake felonies, guys. There is such a thing. They're bullshit charges, right? So, again, I always tell people when I debate people with Trump, I'm like, why are we bringing Trump on bullshit charges when we have child molesters in the fucking Capitol? That'll shut the debate down real fast. You tell them that, people are like, but, nope, there's no buts. Let's go after the people who are doing harm to people, legitimate harm to people out in the world. Let's go after them first. Then we can worry about Trump and his bullshit 37 or 34 felonies, whatever it was. Until then, be easy, relax, smoke a dick. It'll be okay. His fake felonies are just that. We got real fucking problems, guys, real problems, and those felony charges weren't one of them. Like, not one of them were a real problem. Not one of them were going to hurt anybody. It hurt his business standing. He made his business more money than it was worth. Like, oh, he said some rude shit to a chick. We got a sexual assault. It's all bullshit, man. And if you can't see through it, you're about as stupid as Biden is. I shouldn't be motherfuckering people, but I'm gonna motherfuck people. Because I'm tired. I'm cranky. I'm a bit of a bitch when I'm tired. Somebody said I'm looking fit. I'm just trying not to die a fat fuck. That's all. When I'm in my coffin, I want to look nice. I want to be like, like ripped and shit in my coffin. I don't want to be all fat and shit, and it takes 8,000 guys to carry me out. No, thank you. I've seen what that looks like. But yeah, you want to stay in shape. The older you get, and the more, I'm hoping by next year, I'm like, down on the 245, but like ripped. You know, and then on the Angry Prepper Fitness channel, I could show that rippedness off because I'm not doing it here. Like, not at all. And not show it all, but like, you know, you can definitely see the difference. Talk about how I got there and how I'm getting there. I'll be talking about that in my my next video on the Angry Prepper Fitness channel. But there will be no shirt pulling off until you can see my six-pack and bounce a nickel off of them. Go eat a Snickers. I don't like Snickers, man. I really don't. And my son's mother is like, the debate is a joke. I know that. I know that. But yeah. He was gonna. Someone say gay. Yeah, that is gay. That is gay. I wouldn't do that. You know, I mean, like, you know, obviously I'm working out or some shit, yeah, but, like, you see a lot of videos of guys with their shirt off. You're like, we get it, dude. You're ripped. You don't have to have every video with your shirt off. But it's also for the women. Women love that shit. Women love a fit body. There are women out there that like fat guys, yeah. But every now and again, a woman will look at a guy who's in decent shape and she goes, man, I'd love to lick the shit out of his six-pack. Women think in those weird ways. And women, don't act like you never said some shit like that. You look like Ryan Johnson, like, I want to fucking bite his ass. That's what you women say. When guys say shit like that, we're weird. When women say shit like that, it's sexy. But, yeah, we get it. Guys do that shit all the time. And I guess they do it for the women aspect because, and believe it or not, though, you get more men on those videos because a guy will look at that video and be like, yo, how do I get ripped like that? I'm going to follow him, you know? So when I will do a before and after picture without a doubt. You have to do a before and after picture so people know the journey you took to get there. But then that's it. You don't have to have every video with your shirt off. You're sitting there talking about, you know, the world coming to an end. You're sitting in front of the camera with your shirt off. It's fucking weird, man. And gay, but more importantly, weird. But 5'10". I would probably have to get down, realistically, I would probably have to get down to 220. 220 and ripped might be at 5'10". Because any lower than like 200, and I look like a fucking crackhead. You guys will start a GoFundMe, feed the fucking Angry Prepper, because he looks all skinny and shit now. Like, yo, did you visit a fucking, you know, Auschwitz? Why are you so skinny? What's wrong, you know? Like, your chair finally give you AIDS? Or did you hang out with Mobutu too long in Africa that you didn't eat anything? You know, I look weird at 280, at 180. Sorry, I was 280. Oh, but I was the last time I was 180. I think I was fucking 12. Right? I go to 180 now. You guys are gonna be like, damn, you got a big ass head. What's wrong with your body? What's wrong with you? You're all disproportionate now. Disproportionate. You look like shit. You know. And guys will be making fun of me and bullying me and go eat a sandwich. Yo, I'm out on Ozempic. There's too much going on with Ozempic for anyone to be even taking this shit. I don't understand it. Like, I haven't actually dived deep into it. Maybe I should, but I'm not. I wouldn't take anything that induces weight loss at all. I would just do the work. Simple. To sit there and take Ozempic or any kind of drug, you can take a fat burner, that's fine, but a legitimate injection? And I heard they were moving over to pills now? Yeah, I'm out on that shit. All right, guys. Other than that, we're going to go off the air now. I will see you guys next week. I'll be in Wildwood. So I'll be doing a video from there. And I'll be doing it like on the streets or whatever. So hopefully you guys could bear with me on that. I might do it by the park. I might. It's a lot. It's too crowded. Kiwa, I am 5'10". Someone, what? Your biceps look like they are 180 pounds. Okay. Manilo's like, your body will be gone soon. Good old Manilow. Fucking, good pick me up. Debbie Downer. You're awesome, man. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. I'm going to head over to the Angry Truth. Start that in 5 minutes. Keep it about 15, 20 minutes long or however long I'm going to deal with this shit. And I'll see the rest of you guys next week while I'm down in Wildwood doing Wildwood shit, dealing with the bullshit down there. I like Wildwood. I do like it. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice place. But anyway, see you guys later. Talk to you guys later. And yeah, man, be good.